Hello, dear listeners. This is your favorite storyteller, Gwen Fairfax. You are welcome to another amazing episode of your most loved audio series, Unappreciated Treasure. If this is your first time on this channel, thank you for stopping by. I promise that you will love it here. If you are an oldie but goodie, thank you for your continuous love and support. We love and appreciate you. Please like, share, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comment. I hope you enjoy this episode. It was Chelsy's 25th birthday, and Daniel had given her a box of expensive chocolates which she shared with her teammates. As they sat down enjoying the chocolate, a delivery man walked in and said, "Hello everyone! Please, I have a delivery for Miss Chelsy Powers." Everyone in the room was dumbfounded. Their jaws dropped, and their eyes widened in disbelief. Felt as if a jolt of electricity had passed through their veins, leaving them temporarily stunned. The silence in the room was so deafening that the sound of a dropped pin could be heard. The delivery man cleared his throat and asked again, "Who is Miss Chelsy Powers among you?" Cleopatra, who was still in a trance, turned in a slow motion and pointed at Chelsy with her index finger without uttering a single word. Chelsy stuttered and replied, I am Chelsy." The delivery man walked up to her with a well-wrapped birthday cake decorated with tiny little fairies all over. There was a bouquet of white, yellow, and blue tulip flowers, as well as a white Aurora fairy plushie. "This is a delivery for you, ma'am. Please sign here." He showed Chelsy an electronic gadget to sign on. Chelsy signed and collected the items. The delivery man left, and the room started functioning once again. Cleopatra, who had come back to her senses, moved closer to Chelsy and said, "Oh my God! Chelsy! Who in the name of the spirits is this person who keeps sending you these lovely and expensive gifts? Just look at the cake and its design." She moved her fingers across the wrapping of the cake. From its packaging, it was made by Bellissimi Pasticcini. This is the same brand that made the wedding cake for the crowned Princess of Wales. Girl, I need to know who this person is. Cleopatra was a lover of a luxurious lifestyle, although she couldn't afford it. She knew almost all the big brands and designs. There was a card attached to the flowers. When Chelsy read the message on the card, her whole face was all smiles. Cleopatra again asked who had sent the birthday cake and everything that had come with it. Chelsy didn't reply because she was still swooning over the message she had just read. Cleopatra, with a swift action, grabbed the card from Chelsy's hand. Before Chelsy could react and seize it from her, Cleopatra walked a few steps away from Chelsy and read the card out loud. "Happy birthday, my beautiful mountain fairy. The most kind-hearted person who deserves nothing less than the earth, moon, and stars. You are the sunshine that warms up every heart and makes everyone smile. I wish you a sky full of happiness and that every day brings a smile to your face. Yours truly, Gancarnag." Chelsy felt both angry and embarrassed at the same time. "Cleopatra, that wasn't your place to read out loud something I consider private to the hearing of everyone. I find that rude and disrespectful." Chelsy walked over and seized the card from Cleopatra. She looked at Cleopatra with a disgusted expression and walked back to her desk. Erica and Reuben weren't happy with what Cleopatra had done. "Cleo, that was so insensitive and disrespectful. As much as we all are friends, you took this too far. That was something personal and private to Chelsy. I guess you owe Chelsy an apology," Reuben told Cleopatra. Cleopatra stood there feeling guilty of what she had done. She had always been very playful and inquisitive when it came to her friends. But sometimes she took it too far and went overboard. She hadn't meant to be this insensitive and disrespectful. She was nervous and started nibbling on her fingers. She took a deep breath and walked over to Chelsy's desk. "Hey Chelsy, I apologize for what I did. That was so insensitive of me. I didn't mean to do that. It's just that when I get too excited, I tend to act like a jerk. I am so sorry. Can you please forgive me?" As she spoke, she had a pouting face and both hands on her ears. She looked so cute and adorable though. With a face like that, how could anyone stay mad at her? Chelsy couldn't help but smile. Oh, Cleo. What will I do with you? You know I can't stay mad at you. It's okay. I guess it is time to unveil the cake and share with everyone. She stood from her seat and unveiled the cake. It was truly beautiful and classy. The details on the cake spoke volumes. Everyone gathered and sang a happy birthday song for Chelsy, and they wished her well as she cut her cake. Even the members of Nicole's team moved over and shared Chelsy's cake. Nicole, on the other hand, sat down and pretended as if she wasn't in the room. Meanwhile, she was boiling inside with rage, pain, and jealousy. Chelsy and the others took lots of pictures and videos. Since it was still a few minutes till their break was over, Chelsy stepped out of their office space and into the stairwell. She wanted to call Hank in order to thank him for the cake and everything that came with it. She dialed Hank's number, and after a few rings, Hank answered. Hey, Miss Birthday Girl. Happy birthday. Hope you had fun. Chelsy couldn't erase the smile that was plastered on her face. Hey, Karnag. That was an amazing cake you sent. You didn't have to do that, you know? Hank gave a cheeky smile and replied. It was nothing, Chelsy. Did you take many pictures? Chelsy nodded as if Hank could see her. Yes, I did, and my teammates really loved the cake. Thank you, Karnag. I don't remember the last time I had a birthday cake. Ever since Chelsy and her brother, together with their father, moved from France to Britain, they had never celebrated her birthday. So the last time her birthday was celebrated was when she was 7 years old. When Hank heard what Chelsy had said, he took a deep sigh and said, You are welcome, little fairy. Don't worry, every birthday of yours will be celebrated henceforth. By the way, that was the first part of your birthday. What are you doing tonight? Hank asked with his fingers crossed. Chelsy gave a humming sound as if she was thinking, Aim. Since it is Friday, I think I am going to have a long night. I will probably just have Netflix and chill at home, then bury myself in some ice cream and cake. Hank gave a little chuckle and said, Perfect. Can I please change your plans? Chelsy raised her eyebrows and said, Well, it depends on what that will be. Hank cleared his throat and said, Be ready by 7 p.m. Someone will pick you up by then. Hank didn't give Chelsy any room to refuse. I have to go now, Chelsy. Remember, 7 p.m. He ended the call. Chelsy could not wipe the smile on her face. What is wrong with him? She mumbled to herself. Meanwhile, Nicole had secretly followed Chelsy and heard everything she had said on the phone. Who is this Karnag that Chelsy is talking to? Could he be the strong person behind her? I need to find out, she thought to herself. She had an angry expression on her face. If one could see the rage on Nicole's face, they could compare her to the red angry bird. She quietly walked to the bathroom and inspected the stalls in the bathroom to ensure that there was no one in there. She took out her phone and placed a call to someone. When the call connected, Make sure you stalk Chelsy's house tonight. I want you to follow her wherever she goes and who she will be spending time with. And remember not to disappoint me. If you bring me something positive, you know how well I will reward you. Person at the other end of the line sounded quite excited. She ended the call and walked back to her desk. It was the end of the day, and Chelsy had returned to her apartment. Before she got into her house, there was a package in front of her door. I don't remember ordering anything. Chelsy spoke with a raised eyebrow. She picked up the box and went into her house. When she opened it, there was an elegant backless draped silver mermaid dress with high-heeled silver sandals. Chelsy was dumbfounded when she saw the dress. The dress was truly beautiful, and from its quality, Chelsy could tell it was high-end fashion and it was a limited edition dress. There was a little note inside which read, Wear me tonight. Chelsy was a little nervous about the person picking her up later that night. But who is this person I would be meeting? Is it Karnag? But he isn't around. Chelsy took a deep breath and said, If I don't go, then I wouldn't know. I guess I would have to go in order to find that out. Anyway, it's my birthday and I should have as much fun as I can. She gave a smile and sent her best friend a quick message. Before Chelsy could take a step, Rachel called her, "Baby girl." "Wait a minute. I just saw your text message. Who is it that you are meeting tonight?" Chelsy was excited hearing her best friend's voice. "Calm down, Rach. Like I wrote in the message, I don't know where I am going or whom I will be meeting. I thought it might be the quiet Gankarnag, but I had to cancel that probability. He is still out of the country and would be back sometime next week. I might be going to a restaurant for a meal by myself. But don't worry, I will keep you posted, okay?" Rachel was quite happy for her best friend. "Listen, Chels. Doesn't matter whether it is Gankarnag you are meeting or if you are having dinner alone. Just take care of yourself and have lots of fun, okay? And by the way, I still have the tracking app on my phone. I will know exactly where you are. If anything happens, I will know where to start looking for you." Chelsy couldn't help but laugh out loud. "Come on, Rach. You still have that app on your phone as well, huh? I guess we are truly besties because we do think alike. Anyway, I have to go now. Take care, my darling, and I will keep you posted." They said goodbye and ended the call. It was already 5 p.m. and Chelsy had barely 2 hours to get ready. She took a warm shower and came out feeling refreshed. She put on the dress, and it fitted her perfectly, bringing out her hourglass figure. The way the dress was draped on her seemed as if the designer had perfectly crafted it for her. Chelsy looked truly beautiful in the dress. She let her jet black curly hair fall on her bare shoulders. She applied a little makeup on and she was done. At exactly 7 p.m. there was a knock on Chelsy's door. Chelsy opened the door and found Asher waiting at the door. Asher was a little dumbfounded and he said with a cracking voice, "Hello, Miss Powers. I will be your chauffeur for today." Chelsy smiled at him and said, "Greetings, Asher. I am ready. We can leave." Chelsy walked out of the door and Asher followed behind her. The same luxurious car Asher had carried her from the hospital the last time was the same car that was waiting for her in front of her apartment. Asher walked before her and opened the rear door for her. Someone secretly took pictures of Chelsy entering the car. When they were on the move, Chelsy asked, "Hey Asher, where are we going to?" Asher looked at Chelsy through the rear view mirror and replied with a smile, "Ma'am, I can't let the cat out of the bag." Chelsy smirked. "It is typical of you anyway. I am certain you will say your boss asked you to keep it a secret as usual." Asher just gave a smile and said nothing. As they were driving, Asher kept looking at his side mirrors and rear view mirror. His countenance changed and became more serious. They drove for about 15 minutes and the car stopped in front of a tall skyscraper. Asher opened the door and Chelsy stepped out. Gina was already waiting for Chelsy at the entrance. Asher walked over and whispered something into Gina's ear, and she nodded. When Chelsy saw Gina, she went, "Miss Gina? What are you doing here? Is Mr. Maximilian here?" Chelsy had seen Gina a couple of times at Daniel's office. She thought Gina worked for Daniel. "No, Miss Powers. He isn't here." Chelsy was a little stunned and asked Gina, "Then why are you here if Mr. Maximilian isn't here?" Gina gave a little chuckle and replied, "My boss asked me to come get you." Chelsy was a little confused. "Wait a minute, Miss Gina. Isn't Daniel Maximilian your boss?" Gina shook her head, refuting. Chelsy's eyes widened as if she had realized something. "Don't tell me Gankarnag is your boss." Gina nodded and replied, "Yes, he is. It is a small world, isn't it?" Chelsy, who still stood with mouth agape, responded, "It is indeed a small world and getting quite smaller." Gina asked Chelsy to follow her inside. They arrived at the rooftop. There was a Sikorsky S-92 helicopter waiting for Chelsy. When Chelsy saw the chopper, she looked at Gina without uttering a word. "Miss Chelsy, we are taking this helicopter to your destination. I hope you are not scared of heights." Chelsy was already overwhelmed by everything that had happened that evening. She stuttered on her words and said, "And no." Gina directed Chelsy to follow her into the helicopter. Chelsy said okay and followed her. The helicopter flight took about 20 minutes, and they arrived at the famous Ringland Hotels and Suites. It was the most luxurious and expensive 7-star hotel in all of London, owned by the Fitzwilliam Group. It was a 50-floor-story building and located on the most fancy side of East London. It had all the amenities one could ever dream of. The hotel had the most beautiful view of the whole of East London. The artificial lake view at the front gave it the most Epicurean look. Gina asked Chelsy to follow her, and she was brought to the 45th floor. "Miss Powers, my journey with you ends here. Go through those doors, and you will be accompanied to your final destination." As she spoke, she turned around and left. Chelsy's heart was thumping in anticipation. She could feel her legs feeling wobbly like jelly. She didn't know what to expect after going past those doors. She took a deep breath and adjusted her posture. She pushed the door open, and there was a lady dressed in a burgundy suit. She gave a warm smile and said, "Welcome, Miss Powers. This way, please." Chelsy didn't know whether she was being taken to a slaughterhouse or a guillotine. All she knew was that the quiet Gancarnag will never do anything to hurt her. "I am sure I am going to have dinner in this fancy hotel," she mumbled to herself. Chelsy followed the lady into a beautifully decorated and dimly lit room. The room had a candlelit dinner set up for two. It was decorated with tulips and rose flowers. There, Hank sat in his well-tailored gray suit, looking like a demigod who had just descended from the sky. Just like the first day Chelsy saw Hank, she was stunned and left breathless. She wasn't expecting to see the quiet Gancarnag. Chelsy's heart was beating so fast that she thought it would jump out of her chest. "Gancarnag," she muttered under her breath. Was she seeing things, or was he truly there? The long-awaited reunion was finally here. The day Chelsy had been waiting for. The day she would finally know who the quiet Gancarnag was. What will happen during this reunion? Will it be one to remember or one to forget? To know what happens, stay tuned for updates on a new episode of your favorite audio series, Unappreciated Treasure. Toodles.